Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pauline Lombard. I'm a project manager in treated wastewater reuse in the south of France at Aix-Marseille University. And I'm here today with two of my colleagues, Karine Guiderdoni-Jourdain and Ingrid Mazili, who are both professors in management science. So we are here today to talk about an interdisciplinary project that we had. We're talking about managing transition at the local level, and we took the case of a treated wastewater reuse that we have in the south of France, Réuto Sud. So, as you know, we known a big water crisis in the south of France during the 2022 season. And our government decided to promote the use of non-conventional water. And for that, our region, the south region of France, donc Région Sud, decided to do the same. So because of that, our project, the Réuto Sud project, was born. It's a partnership between la Société du Canal de Provence, which is a major manager of water in the south of France, and Aix-Marseille University. So this project is supported by the Région Sud, and there is some goals. One of the major goals is to make a better undertake of the state of art of wastewater reuse in the south of France, and set up and coordinate a collaborative network via Living Lab. So through three different uses, such as agriculture uses, urban uses, and leisure uses. So in the south of France, we have 714 wastewater treatment plants that produce 380 million cubic meters by year. And when we see and watch every wastewater treatment plant with every uses around it, we can see that there is a potential of reuse water, more in agriculture uses or urban uses. But we are actually just 7 projects of reuse that are in place in the south of France. So despite the policy and despite the potential that we have, so we understand that there is some barriers that in case we talk about.
So just a few minutes before we can go to the cocktail, so be strong. So in social sciences, the scientific literature has already addressed many topics that we have heard just before, such as economy, circular economy, social acceptance, regulation, and so on. But what we decided to do is to study the project Réuto Sud through our lens, which is organization, because we are in the organization sciences. And we thought that studying reuse through the lens of organization is also original, because we have heard today that the question of organization, of multi-stakeholder coordination is key in the experimentation of reuse across the world. So this is the topic we decided to question today. So the question of organization is complex, and what we decided to study more specifically is the collective organization, how to collectively organize reuse or to develop experimentation. In our field of research, there is a specific concept that is meta-organization. A meta-organization is an organization made of other organizations. And this is the case in many cases, and when we try to develop reuse plants, we can see that there are many meta-organizations that are developed to govern and to pilot the plants. What we want to study is how this meta-organization help to develop transition and to develop more reuse the plants in local areas. So we studied the Rio to Sud project, and we decided to go deeper into the sustainability transition literature, because this literature in management sciences look both at the socio and the technical aspects. So it's really interesting, because when we speak about reuse, we speak both of technical and social aspects. And we can see that we need to transform both behavior and techniques for the reuse, to develop reuse. In this socio-technical system, there are many organizations that have to work together, and some of them are considered as transition intermediaries. They help actors to work together and to make link between actors to develop transition and to change the social behavior and the techniques. Those transition intermediaries sometimes are collective organizations, so meta-organization. And they play different role, and most of the time when we start a new experimentation of reuse, we need to spend a lot of time with actors to understand each other, who they are, and to share values. So those meta-organizations can play different modes, they have different functions, and we decided to study 4 of them: the brokering function, the configuring function, the structural negotiating function, and the facilitating and capacitating function. So this is the framework we use to study the Rio to Sud project. So, Karen, la petite flèche.
Okay. So, oh no. So if we come back to the study case, so as you maybe understood, it's an ongoing project, and so we are in a qualitative method. So we follow this one of this living lab with his agricultural living lab. So it's a long process. So it's a research action also. One of the authors here was involved totally in the project. So we present here 4 workshops, and we present here also the meta-organization. So the founder of the meta-organization, so private company, public company, and the new stakeholder involved progressively in the meta-organization. So the different kind of workshop began in December 24 to May 225. So the 2 first workshops was really focused on the founder. So it was focused first on the shared vision, so the collective vision, the value, what kind of stakeholder we would like to add in a meta-organization, all the debate around that. The second workshop was really focus on the governance. So what kind of structure do we want to have in this living lab? How we can share some charter, and how we can integrate in the time the different kind of stakeholders. Workshop 3 and 4, the new stakeholder was coming, and so it was more community, municipality, metropole, so region, policy, and so on. And the third workshop was on extension, so there is a lot of debate on if we agree or not about the vision, the first vision of the founder, and how we can expand this vision and the value linked to the vision. And of course, negotiation about timeline and so on. And the last one, workshop, was on the barrier. So what are the difficulties they can have? And it was interesting to see how to go on the field to visit a site, a pilot site, try to reconnect all the people together. So it was an interesting time. Okay, so if we come back to one of our model analyze, so based on the 4 actions: brokering, configuring, structural negotiating, and facilitating and capacitating. So we can see that with this 4 workshops, all the different function and mode were activated, but not at the same time, not with the same frequency and intensity. So it was quite interesting to notice that at the beginning of the process of this. So brokering, building network and partnership, building alignment, we spoke about that. I think it was the first presentation. We spoke about all the importance of institutional alignment. So it's a common finally result. Connecting people. And also we noticed at the beginning of this process that the facilitating and capacitating are very important activities to notice in this 4 workshop.
So we are running out of time, so I'm not going to present all the contribution. I will focus on one empirical contribution and one theoretical contribution. So regarding the empirical contribution, we have, with this research, we have shown that the organizational aspect of reuse are as much important as the technical aspect of reuse, and at the end of the project, the participant and the members of the different organizations had understood that they had interest in spending time to share their vision, and it was crucial to set up the basis of the experimentation. So about the theoretical contribution, so we need to study a bit more this project and more cases, but we can see that collective organization has, let's say, the power of transforming the vision of the different stakeholders involved in the experimentation. Because if we compare the beginning of the workshop and at the end of the workshop, some actors were not really involved or were a bit reluctant to go into the experimentation, but at the end they agreed to work together. So also if it's a small project, we can see that the collective organization allow to change their vision and how they understand the reuse. So we are on mode. So the main conclusion, and we are done. last one.
Okay. So with this study case, so we can there is a 4 main result. So the question of the double role of this kind of project. So to create a collective form of organization, so what we call meta-organization, and at the same time to be what we can call a niche experimentation. So the dual role. The question of mode of intermediation. So all the 4 modes were activated, but not in the same frequency and with the same intensity. So it was very interesting. Of course, trust is fundamental and is confirmed to go on the question of participative governance. So we need to continue on this project. Thank you very much, and it's time for, I think, cocktail. Thank you.